Welcome to Modern Stoic Insights. In this video, some women will make your life better, while others will gradually steal you of your life. The issue is that most men fail to notice In this video, we're breaking down 8 types of women you should never date, because recognizing these red flags can save you years of wasted time and heartache. Let's start with the drama addict. They ignore warning signs until it's too late, hoping that things will change, only to find themselves stuck in toxic cycles. However, a strong man knows exactly who to avoid. She seems exciting at first. There's something intoxicating about her, the way she lights up a room, the way she never gets bored, and the way every moment with her feels like a whirlwind. However, you quickly realize that this woman needs chaos. She feeds off it, and if there isn't drama naturally occurring, she will create it herself. That's when the problems begin. At first, it might seem like a small argument over a pointless issue, a moment where she blows something out of proportion, but soon it becomes a pattern. She picks fights without cause, turning every little issue into a disaster. She thrives on emotional roller coasters, and before you know it, you're constantly on edge, constantly defending yourself, constantly wondering why things always feel like a storm. A drama addict will never let you have peace, even if things are going well. Even if there's no real reason to argue, she'll find a way to create chaos. Why? Because to her, a stable relationship is boring. She's not looking for love. She's looking for emotional highs and lows. And what happens to a man who gets sucked into this cycle? He becomes reactive instead of focused. Instead of working on his goals, he spends all his energy dealing with her nonsense. He loses his edge. A man who's constantly drained by arguments and emotional manipulation can't stay sharp. He starts doubting himself over time. She'll gaslight, blame, and twist situations until he's constantly walking on eggshells, wondering if he's the problem, and worst of all, drama never ends. It only escalates, the fights get bigger, the mind games get worse, and soon you're not just dealing with petty arguments, you're dealing with emotional destruction. If you pay attention, you can identify a drama addict early on. Keep an eye out for ongoing disputes with friends and ex-partners. If all of her relationships are tumultuous, she is the common denominator for gossip addiction and arguments on social media. A lady who is consumed by the drama of others may eventually direct that energy onto you through intense emotional responses to minor issues. An ordinary annoyance turns into a disaster. At first, you could feel sorry for the victim as she tells you about how cruel life has been to her and how awful her ex-partners were. However, a misunderstanding turns into betrayal, and everything is life or death. How people always betray her, and how she never seems to be able to get a break while playing the role flawlessly. As a good man, you might believe that you can help the hurt woman who just needs someone to care for her, that you can show her what true love is, and that you can be the one to treat her right. However, you fail to see that the victim doesn't want to be saved. Instead, she feeds off sympathy and seeks out someone to validate her helplessness. If you try to help her, she will never accept responsibility. Everything will always be someone else's fault. Nothing is ever about her. She will deplete your emotional reserves and bring up her issues in every chat, her hardships and suffering, but she will never change. If you ever try to put yourself first, she will accuse you of not caring or being supportive. This is how she manipulates men, by using guilt, sympathy, and emotional manipulation. If you pay attention, you can tell these women early on, because every ex is a villain, and if every man she has ever dated was toxic, that's a sign she refuses to accept responsibility for her own actions. If she continuously makes you feel awful for concentrating on yourself, that's a warning sign. She only fixes problems and won't act on any advice you give. She just wants to vent and feels guilty when things don't go her way. 3. She is an attention seeker who enjoys the limelight and needs approval. No matter how much you give her, it will never be enough. She initially comes out as lively, entertaining, and charming. She consistently receives compliments on social media, always surrounded by men who are only friends. But it soon becomes clear that this woman is addicted to receiving attention from men. She doesn't care about loyalty or genuine connections. Instead, she just cares about being wanted, which means she will always have fallback alternatives. Even while she is with you, she will never truly be yours, because she is constantly entertaining other guys and friends in her DMS. She will look for compliments elsewhere if you don't provide them to her. She enjoys watching males battle for her and thrives on forcing men to compete. She also loves knowing that she has choices. She is addicted to social media, so catch her early before you get too caught up. Confirmation if she consistently replies to comments from random men and posts thirst traps. She flirts with everyone, even in front of you, in an attempt to get acceptance from others. Some women say they are just sociable, but if she can't stop being charming around you, that's a warning sign. If she keeps asking, "Do you think I'm pretty?" or "Do you still like me?" she wants regular reassurance. She's addicted to validation for the controlling woman. At first it feels like she just cares about you. She asks about your day, checks in, often wants to know what you're doing. It seems like love. It seems like attention, but slowly something starts to shift. She doesn't just ask where you're going, she demands to know. She doesn't just check in, she expects constant updates. She doesn't just want time with you, she wants control over your entire life. And before you realize it, you're no longer in a relationship, you're in a dictatorship. A controlling woman isn't looking for a partner, she's looking for a puppet, and if you let her, she will cut you off from your friends. She'll convince you that they're a bad influence or don't care about you. Like she does monitor your every move, she'll demand constant check-ins, make you feel guilty for having personal time, and question everything you do. Use guilt to manipulate you. If you ever push back, she'll say things like, "If you really loved me, you'd do this," or "Why do you want to hurt me like this?" She doesn't want compromise, she wants control. 5. The high-maintenance princess. She initially appears to be a dream, effortlessly elegant and gorgeous. She exudes that high-value lady vibe that gives you the impression that she is unique. However, as time passes, you come to understand that she is not seeking love. Rather, she is seeking a financial sponsor for her men, who are not partners, but rather providers. And she is not interested if you are not spending money. She is a high-maintenance woman who views relationships as transactions. Her love is conditional. Take her on pricey dates. She is interested in buying her gifts. She's loving. Stop spending. And the moment a man stops supporting her lifestyle, she moves on to the next one. It's not about love. Rather, it's about what she can get from you. 6. At first it feels good because there's no pressure, no high expectations, just a good time. However, as the weeks turn into months, months turn into a year, and something starts to feel off, she won't define the relationship, avoids serious conversations, and keeps you at arm's length, and you quickly realize she never intended to stay. A woman who fears commitment isn't just unsure about relationships, she's unsure about you. She enjoys your company and the benefits, but she's constantly wondering if there's something better out there, which means she keeps her options open even if she's with you. She never planned for the future. She avoids the conversation when you ask her where things are going, but when things grow serious, she pulls away. She enjoys the rush of a new romance, but a genuine, long-lasting attachment fears her. 7. The egocentric. She initially appears to be the ultimate prize. A narcissistic woman will always put herself first. She may act as though she cares about you, but deep down she will use your admiration as fuel. She thrives on knowing you're hooked, and the moment you pull away, she'll either manipulate you back or drop you entirely, making you feel small. She doesn't just have high self-esteem, she's obsessed with herself, and she demands worship, and no matter what you do, it's never enough. Make fun of your difficulties and act as though you're fortunate that she never accepts responsibility for anything that goes wrong. If she hurts you, you're too sensitive, and if she cheats, you weren't making her happy enough to her, so you're not an equal. You are a source of adoration, affirmation, and attention, and the moment you stop giving it, you can tell she's gone before you go too far, because she only talks about herself. Every discussion centers on her life, her objectives, and her issues. Your existence scarcely registers. She never says sorry if she upsets you. Instead, she either defends it or places the blame on you. She requires continual adulation. She is desperate for approval and will stop at nothing to obtain it, including approaching other guys for it. The female chameleon, number 8. She appears to be your ideal woman at first. She seems to be the perfect match and is everything you've been searching for. However, over time something strange occurs. She starts to change and adapt, and is no longer the same woman she was at first. She's someone else entirely, and that's when you realize she was never being real. This kind of woman mimics men to achieve her goals. She researches you, finds out what makes you happy, and plays the part until she no longer needs to. Once she feels like she has you locked in, she stops acting like the kind, laid-back, feminine woman you met has vanished. The real her, the one she was hiding, finally emerges, and she begins to resent you because she feels like she lost herself and now blames you for it. She starts searching for her next identity because, just as she became what you wanted, she will soon become what another man wants. She is an actress, not a partner, and when the role no longer excites her, she will move on to the next one. Keep an eye out for these red flags, because she changes her beliefs based on the men in her life. If her entire personality changes with each relationship, you already know the damage they can do. They drain your energy, manipulate your emotions, take everything they can, and leave you questioning yourself. However, a strong man recognizes the red flags early on and doesn't try to fix them. Instead, he walks away because the truth is that the wrong woman can ruin you, but the right one makes you feel good. Unstoppable, a Stoic guide for the future. Remain focused, disciplined, and in charge.